Hey everybody, I'm Hunter Allen with Peaks Coaching Group, and today for our little video we do, I always do these Thursday tips. I wanted just to talk a little bit about the life cycle, the path of the cyclist, and everybody's at a different path, a different stage in their cycling and their development, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about how this works and how maybe you can identify where you are in this, and then that can help you with maybe your next step, or maybe even shortcut it to get to 2 steps ahead so that you don't have to go through some of those steps. One of the reasons that I started Peaks Coaching Group was because I never had a coach. I wanted somebody to take me under their wing. I wanted somebody to help me shortcut to success, to create that for me. And I feel like I wasted a couple of years just hit and miss, trial and error, and that was a bummer, especially when you're trying to become a pro cyclist, a pro athlete. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about this. So here's this typical path. So what happens is you get a bicycle, right? You start riding, and then you realize, oh, I can ride faster and faster on the same loop. And that's basically what you do. You go out and you ride as hard as you can every single time you ride, and try and ride faster on each single loop. Then you say, well, maybe I should do some group rides. Then you go to the local bike shop, you get on a local group ride, you do some local group rides, you make some friends. Then they say, hey, let's go do a Century Ride or a Grand Fondo together. Then you get to do a Century Grand Fondo with them. You usually get your butt kicked. All your buddies that you met on the group ride, that you kind of barely hung with on the group ride, now just crush you in this Century Ride or Grand Fondo. And then you're like, uh-oh, I now have a desire to improve. I want to get better. I want to go faster. I want to improve my endurance, my stamina, all these things, my hill climbing, whatever it is. I want to get better. So you start down the self-coaching path at that point. At that point, you buy books. Training and Racing with a Power Meter. Hey, get a copy of my book, right? That will help you. You go to websites. You go to forums, blogs. You get advice from friends, right? How do I get better? What do I need to do to improve? You're on the self-coaching path. That leads to the structured training part of self-coaching. Because now you realize after you read all these books and websites that all these riders who are kicking your butt have been doing structured workouts, right? So you end up doing workouts that come out of books, okay? I've got a bunch of those in the back of Training and Racing with a Power Meter. Great workouts, they make a difference. Or you buy a pre-built training plan, right? So that's a plan that isn't customized necessarily for you, but maybe has a specific goal in mind. Your best time trial, or just improve your FTP, or improve your VO2 max, or go to your first race. Now, this is a great thing, right? I've got 150 training plans built inside Training Peaks software. You can buy them on Shop Peaks. All kinds of plans. Thousands and thousands of cyclists have used my plans to help them with this piece, right? They're in this self-coaching path, right? Then that gives you a lot of initial improvements. Boom, you start to improve and get better and better and better. Your FTP goes up, your endurance goes up, your stamina goes up. You do more self-coaching. Eventually, you get to the self-coaching plateau. All right, so now you're not really longer improving. You're kind of leveling off here. You start to question and doubt your training. Is this the right training? Should I be doing it right now? Should I not be doing it? Should I do more intervals, less intervals? And then maybe even your ability, right? Am I good enough? Can I actually get any better? And that ends up being possible overtraining syndrome or an injury, right? You just keep killing yourself, pushing until all of a sudden you get injured, or you need to take a month off or 2 months off because you kind of got into this overtraining syndrome. Because what happens is you start doubting you're not training hard enough, so you just train more and more and more and never rest. Well, that's where we come in right here as coaches. We come in with the custom coaching peak, right? We're looking for the peak of fitness, and that's what we're looking for, and how to make you continue to get better and better and better. So that's designed specifically for your needs. It's your goals, right? It's what are you doing? Not just some kind of general goal, but it's exactly your goal. It's the demands of the event. Maybe you've got a Grand Fondo that you want to do. Maybe you've got a race that you want to do. It has very specific things in that. Climb, flats, wind, whatever. We can design that specifically for you. The time constraints, right? What do you have in terms of your life, your job, your marriage, your kids? You're balancing all these things together. How do you actually make that work together? Then, of course, we are objective, right? We're using your data. We're looking at your data. Are you completing these workouts? Are you doing the work that we want you to do? Are you doing them correctly? Are you hitting your numbers? And of course, we have tremendous amount of experience. We've coached thousands of athletes here at Peaks Coaching Group. So our athletes are very, our coaches, they've just got tremendous amount of experience from years and years of that. A custom coach also, a coach has a long-lasting incremental gain, right? I mean, you are continuing to gain down the road. You got this big initial improvement here, or maybe you haven't gotten that yet. If you haven't gotten that yet, then you should just boom right here, right away. But you continue to improve. You continue to get better. And then really, right, this is kind of the holy grail of coaching. Peaking, getting that best form, that highest FTP right when you want it. That's the holy grail of coaching. So many people come to me and say, oh, well, I just want to get better. Oh, any coach can do that, right? Here you go, here's a training plan, go do this and you'll get better. But when an athlete comes to me and says, I want to improve and I want to peak on June the 15th, and it's my job to peak them on June the 15th so they have the best ride of their life, that's the holy grail of coaching. That's what we do here at Peaks Coaching Group. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about this kind of path of the typical cyclist and how everybody has gone through this path. I've gone through this path. My coaches have gone through this path. My athletes have gone through this path. We've all gone through this path. This is kind of this life cycle that we go through. So give us a shout. I know this is, we've got lots of things here to offer you. We can help you shortcut to success. Let's get rid of all this stuff in the middle. Come right here. We can make that happen. I'm Hunter Allen with Peaks Coaching Group. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks a lot for watching.